Sound speed. Little Guy, Big Girl podcast, episode 19. Begin. Hello, you guys. This is our second time trying to start today. We have Big Girl being a very big girl today. She was not happy with the way this went. So we are restarting, and we're just trying to keep it fresh and exciting. So that is our goal. And do you have anything to add and or say? No. So Big Girl said, this is going terribly. I want to stop doing this podcast forever. And then now she's on strike for the rest of the podcast. So she's agreed to sip her tea, and let it finish. But she's no longer speaking, and she's in protest. She's wearing black today because this represents the death of our podcast. She changed into a black dress, and she put up her hair. You can't speak. You're on strike. You're on strike. Oh, don't talk. Don't talk. You're on strike. You're on black. You're dead. We're dead. This podcast is dead. She made me change my pants into the darkest color I had. I don't have a black t-shirt, and I don't have black pants. This is all I have. What will I wear to an actual funeral? I have no idea. We'll get to that when we cross that road. You actually look like you have just been to a goddamn funeral. I'm going to give you fucking flowers right now. That's literally what's going to happen. You're going to hold flowers.
No, do not take the flowers outside of that vase.
I'm giving you one, and you're going to hold it for the thumbnail. Because it's the death of our podcast. Also, you're on strike right now. You shouldn't even be speaking.
I'm not on strike.
You're breaking labor union relations right now.
Aaron.
Here, this is going to be the thumbnail right here. Make a really sad face. Hold on. Do it again. That's the thumbnail.
It's wet. This is why I didn't want you to pull it out. Sometimes I feel like you have no awareness of the fact that I decorate this apartment really nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Talk about whatever you want. No, that's my tea.
So what would make you feel better about all this right now? In this moment? Maybe we should just hash it out on the podcast? Because we were having just like a nice little chat between the two of us.
No, we weren't. It wasn't exciting or fun.
What would designate as exciting or fun to you?
If we had a guest, I don't know. If we were talking about spicy things, like we just talked about Biden and how he likes ice cream. No one cares about that.
It's so cute when he likes his ice cream.
It's not that cute. He's not even a cute old guy, Aaron. You just like fucking Biden. I don't know.
So what would be spicy enough for you? Because I think you just want to inject a little bit of a certain something. So let's figure out what that is.
I didn't want to hash this out here.
Well, it's too late. It's happening.
I think we should just show the first podcast. This always happens every single time. People are getting tired of my fits and of you trying to be a little therapist over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to ask you.
Yes.
I have other things that I'm upset with you about.
Okay.
And you know what they are.
So, what is it?
You know what it is. You know. What I found on your phone.
I don't look at that often.
Stop. I'm a pig.
You're a pig?
Yeah. Sometimes I used to put my nose like this because I thought it made me look more attractive.
Really?
Yeah.
How long would you hold it for? Oh, you're about to Joker. That's what he does in the movie. You had a little bit of mascara come down. We gotta audition you for the next movie.
I did audition for the Joker's daughter, and I didn't get it.
What?
Thank you, CW.
Oh, C-dubs.
I've actually auditioned for a lot of psychotic roles, a lot of sexy roles, a lot of psychotic sexy roles.
But you need to do like
and I want to say
weird, not like sexual beings.
No, weird like what our special surprise is going to be for the people.
Like yeah, like a little special like our special. Is that what you're saying?
Our special surprise.
Oh, okay, yes. Our special surprise that is coming soon.
Oh my god.
To people like you. And at the time of this release,
I have not been walked today.
Hope
it is really good.
it is really fucking showing. But there is a hurricane going on outside.
I think I'm gonna go.
So we cannot have you walk to the top of a mountain. You cannot go
during the hurricane because I just want to feel something on my body. Like I just want to feel. I don't care if I'm blown away. Take me. I'm going.
Your parents will be so mad at me.
My parents don't really care that much what you do. They know that you have no control over me. They know that. They're not entrusting you with my safety. You think that you're that important? That you're entrusted with my safety?
I knew that Sophia, come 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Do I have mascara on my face?
No.
2 and 3 is the worst hour of the day for me. You should
know
know that. And that's why you cannot have me film a podcast around 2 or 3, which is what we do every single time because we procrastinate in the morning. And they're like, oh, we'll do it before the night so that we don't feel like we did nothing today. And then that's all we did. Aaron.
It's like a whole rap.
Aaron.
It's like Hamilton.
You are coming to my wit's end. Like, the ice that you were standing on is about to break. And I feel like you wanted that. Like, you wanted that. And you know what I want?
No, I don't. I just want to have a nice podcast where we talk to my friends. We talk to our friends. We have a nice time.
Talk to your friends.
No, now I'm interested in this. That you...
No, we are hiring an intern. And Aaron is hiring an intern. And he wants someone else to be in the room so that I don't have a mental breakdown, so that he can control what
I think it would also, like, we feel really relaxed. That's one of the reasons why people probably, if anyone watches this, they might enjoy it for that reason. However, I think that we become so relaxed that I shrink into this shell of myself that is just really tiny. And then you also... Let's just say that you might be flagged by the FBI. There might be a red flag on your profile. And maybe if someone else was in the room watching...
This actually is my funeral dress.
We would bounce... You've worn this to funerals?
Every funeral.
Actually? For Grant?
Yes. This is my funeral dress.
It's kind of a sexy funeral dress.
It's loose fitting.
But it's like, maybe if like...
It only has a tiny little slit. Do you think this is inappropriate to wear to a funeral?
No, it's not inappropriate at all.
Just be honest. If I wore this to your funeral, would you be disappointed in me?
No, but I would know that you're trying to pick someone up after.
Are you slut shaming my funeral dress?
I'm not. That was
Yes,
a
you
joke.
Are.
That was a joke.
I've never gone home with someone after a funeral. And I never would. Have I always wanted to start chaos at a funeral? Yes, I have. So maybe that's why this is my funeral dress. But honestly,
I don't think
people wear way more inappropriate funeral dresses, especially in the city of San Francisco.
Also,
okay?
can I just say something? Can
You're
I preface this?
from Hawaii. I bet people just don't even wear like...
No, people don't dress up. I have never been... I've been to like one funeral in my life.
And how was it?
It's my grandpa. When I was 5. The other one.
Was it a Jewish funeral?
Yeah.
What did they do? Did you go to New York for it?
No, it was in Hawaii. He's buried in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
What about your grandma?
She's buried in freaking New Jersey.
Why weren't they buried together?
I have no idea.
Aren't you hurt by that?
Yes.
Did they love each other?
Yes.
Like, were they real loves of each other's lives?
Yeah.
Then why are they not... Who, out of both of the sides of your grandparents, who would you say is more like the love of each other's lives?
Probably on my dad's side.
And they're not buried next to each other?
Yeah. My grandparents on my mom's side, they were released in the same waters.
Do you believe in any of that stuff? Or you just like,
I think that's nice. I like that.
Would you want to be buried next to me or no?
I want to be buried in the same coffin. Whoever goes first, I want to dig us out. Like, okay, if you're watching this for when I am dead first, pick me out of the ground, open up the coffin.
I might get remarried
back
though.
in. Doesn't matter. Put her back in. Just reseal the box.
I do not want to be in the same coffin as you, Aaron.
Why? Put both of our names on a stone. That's so cute.
Because that's gross. I don't want you touching me in my death.
You be on top of me. You have all the power in that situation.
I don't even know if I want to be buried, even though I'm technically supposed to be buried based on my religions. Are you?
Why wouldn't you want to be buried? You want to be creamed.
Because I'm afraid of being buried alive. My biggest fear is not being able to breathe.
That is never
Fuck. Should I have said that on a podcast?
Why?
I don't know. That's like kind of a secret.
That what?
My biggest fear is not breathing. Do you think they're going to use that against me? Do you?
How do you think that would... How do you think
I
that
don't
someone
know.
would use that against
Well,
you?
we're not supposed to say where we live. Why? Why do we not say where we live?
Why would...
Why do we not say where we work and live, Aaron?
Because why would we put that... Why would we do that?
Exactly.
So how does that... how is that at all the same thing?
Oh my god.
What?
I'm okay. Anyway.
I think anyone's... not breathing means you're dead. So
Yes,
it's like if you're in
I
any
get it.
environment where you're not breathing, I feel like that's pretty natural. I don't
Yeah,
think that
I
was that
know.
crazy.
I know, but like...
So, but being buried
Do
alive...
you want to be in the ground? I don't know if I want to be in the ground, but I don't know if I want to be in the ocean either because the deep blue sea, it really terrifies me. I want to be...
I don't want to be in the ocean. Do
I
not
would like
put me
to
in the
be, I
ocean.
think, just in my house.
A house is nice. We're homebodies, so maybe that's good for us.
Should
My
we
only
just buy a
concern...
house?
Buy a house for her
And then,
and then have us spread out in the house.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Maybe we should be cooked into a meal and consumed.
Whoa, I don't think that's legal.
Really? People definitely do it. Come on. There's some creeps out here in LA.
Yeah, true. I think I kind of like the idea of like us being ghosts in a house. Like that's kind of cute. If it's just us, like if we get like a little
Yeah.
like a little back house or something.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like that?
Yeah.
And you just spread us out all over the house, just like little bits, like here. So that we're all over the house. That we're two little ghosts, because we're not threatening people. We're not scary ghosts. We just have fun.
Oh, we just cooked them some dinner.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm not there yet.
Okay, but that was close. I almost got you. If we told anyone this, they would think we're insane. But we actually both genuinely like that idea.
Yeah,
like
we
people
do.
might think that's a bit. I actually like that idea. For
I do
us.
too. Why do you think people think that's insane?
Because I think the idea of you taking someone's ashes and spreading it in a house is kind of crazy. My only concern with like being on a mantelpiece is that whatever
Will fall.
we're gonna fall off at some point. It might be 50 years. It might be 100. We will fall and shatter all over the floor, and we're going straight to the vacuum.
Well, okay. We'd have to be put through. There's some technicalities there, right? Because if you just have dust all over the house, like, that's a little weird.
Yeah, but
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Or maybe,
it's not a big
like,
deal.
yeah.
Being buried kind of scares me. I don't know
I
why.
agree. I don't love the idea of being buried. But you could do like a classy thing where it's like you're above ground, but like you're in a thing.
Yeah, I've thought of
Like
that.
you're in a coffin, but like you're in a thing.
Those are pretty expensive.
Those are very expensive.
I think we can get there, though. If
Yeah.
you subscribe to this podcast, Aaron and I can be buried the way that we want to be buried.
Can have really, yeah. There you go.
And then our children can be buried there, too, maybe, if we choose to do that.
Have children? My only thing is, do you think that they would want to be buried with their spouses and or significant others if they choose to do that, live that life? Or do you think that they should just be buried with us? What is it? I feel like
probably will have to be buried with Andreas and Leela.
yeah. What
I
did
don't
your
know if I can be buried with you.
what if your parents set up?
Oh my god, there's an earthquake.
Wow.
Aaron, there's an earthquake. I feel it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Is this an earthquake or hurricane?
is this the hurricane? Oh my god, guys, live
Whoa.
news.
The earthquake detected.
Whoa. Have you ever been in an earthquake?
This was a pretty decent one.
There might be aftershocks. Be prepared.
But the first one's usually the biggest one, right?
Yeah. I've had way worse. That was kind of just a fun one.
That wasn't that bad.
I've had really bad ones. Really crazy ones.
Whoa.
Do you know what you're supposed to do in an earthquake? Did you ever have
Drop
earthquake?
cover, hold on.
Yeah.
I just read it on there. That's the only reason I know that.
It's over, babe.
Okay. It gave me a little tingle.
Are you scared or are you excited?
Kind of excited.
You kind of like when things shake a little.
Yeah. That
Me
wasn't
too.
that bad. That was probably the second biggest earthquake
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Wow. Really? That's the second. That's like probably the second. That's probably like the smallest earthquake I've ever seen.
Being here, there's only ever been one other one. That's crazy. It happened like in the middle
San
of this.
Francisco is very earthquake prone.
I see.
Like when I was younger, there was an earthquake and my dad thought that someone was trying to break into the garage. They thought that I was pulling a prank on them and trying to break into the garage because the whole garage was shaking. The garage door, like someone was banging on the garage door.
Oh shit.
And then I had obviously studied the drills in school. I was like, drop! And like I went under the kitchen table. I grabbed Leela, who was probably like little at that time. I was like, come with me. And I like held her. And I like kneeled under the table like this. Like, I got you.
Hold on.
Hold on.
That's funny.
But you're supposed to stand like in a doorway
or
under a table.
Yeah, that makes sense. They say though, maybe it's changed, but I know like the science changed. They say you're supposed to like, aren't you supposed to be like next to a table, not directly underneath? Because it used to be go underneath a table, but then they were like hold on to the corner of a table and just be crouched next to it.
Yeah, honestly,
because
that's
they say that when it like hits a table, it'll break sideways.
The table.
I don't know though.
That's kind of actually how we practiced it in school. We'd hold on to the leg of the desk, and
right?
Then
but not be directly underneath it. I don't know. These things change all the time.
But did you have to practice it in school?
Yeah, we'd practice it.
Did you practice hurricane warnings?
Yes.
What did you do for that?
We just hidden. We were just inside. We would do like lockdowns in case of intruders.
Yeah, same. Those freaked me out.
Would the teachers like bang on the doors and stuff?
Yeah.
That is messed up that teachers do that.
And then they'd like slip a note under the door being like...
Oh, that's intense.
No, that they'd have to slip a note under the door being like, now you can come out.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought it was like, give me the weakest link. All of you must vote on the kid to send out. Otherwise, you're all goners.
I always have thought to myself, like, okay, if that happens to me, I'm going to have to go up to this person and talk them down.
You're about to Marky Mark. You're about to Mark Wahlberg.
What? Did he do that or something?
He said that about if he was on the plane, he would have stopped it.
Okay, no. That's stupid and selfish and evil.
Yeah.
I don't think I could really stop anyone. I just think, like...
hey, we can talk.
That's just how I imagine myself defending myself.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not going to run.
It wouldn't be a physical thing.
I can't.
It could be with you, though. You got some moves.
But if someone, like, is armed... You're going to have to talk them down. They're probably not mentally okay. They're probably honestly really scared.
Yeah, they're definitely terrified. They expect this to be...
the last moment of their life.
Yeah.
So you can talk to them and be like, I don't know, though. Because I've never met one in action. And I don't want to. Please.
And we never will. That being said, though... Interesting. Yeah, I remember we had an earthquake once. I was playing the Game Boy Advance, and I was on the bunk bed. I was so happy. It was a weekend. I was on the bunk bed. I was just like, eh. And
Were you top bunk?
I was bottom bunk. Youngest.
Oh.
I just used to hang out on the top bunk for fun.
Yeah.
I think, like, top bunk, you're on top, but it's also a little bit more private for you.
True. I had top
Bottom bunk, you're just exposed to the room.
I was on the top bunk during an earthquake too.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. You tell your story first though.
I just remember the bed was shaking. What was the magnitude of the biggest earthquake you've ever had?
I don't know.
The magnitude was like maybe a 6 for us.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it was big.
That's way bigger than this one we just felt. Yeah,
no, I know, but I've never had anything like that. Honolulu earthquake 2006. 6.7. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the whole bed was shaking,
Mm-hmm.
like violently. My dad was like, get down, get down. And then he took us down and he was like, get under, get in the bathroom. And we got in the bathroom. We're like,
Were you scared?
and then the power went out for like a few days. Back then, when the power went out, it was like,
love when the power goes out.
mm,
Those were my favorite memories as a child when the power went out.
mm,
Like we would order burritos and we'd eat it by candlelight.
frick.
And we'd all sleep in the living room on air mattresses together because it would be warmer there than it would be in the back rooms.
Oh, that makes sense. For warmth.
For
Yeah, we never had to
warmth.
worry about that.
And so it was just so, I guess you'd probably have to worry about heat, about overheating if the power went out.
Yeah, although at night it's fine. It's a little warm, but it's cool.
I was such a freak. I used to do this thing as a kid where I was like, I would basically act like a character that I saw in a Disney movie for an entire week. I would only go by that character's name. Like, I was a real freak. For example, I would pretend to be like a lion from The Lion King, and I would like only lick out of bowls to get my
What?
water. And I would like walk around on all fours, and I would like only speak as that
Whoa.
character. And
Oh,
like,
how would you do that?
I guess I just roared a lot. Like I remember I
Mm.
tried to write this children's book, but I didn't know how to write, so I had my yaya like write it out for me.
You just explained what you wanted.
And then instead of writing by Sophia, I wrote by Kiara, as in the
right,
Lion King. Lion King 2. And I remember
specific, yeah.
like I was with my family friends during this blackout, and
Mm.
I was in character.
Frick.
And one of my friends, she was my same age, she was really scared of this blackout, right? And my mom was like talking to her, trying to calm her down. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, this happened to my Uncle Scar once. And he was really scared. Like I stayed, and my mom was like, okay, that's enough.
Okay, enough. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I remember. I remember
deserved
watching my father
to be bullied.
being pushed off a cliff by my uncle.
That's literally how it was though. Like
You're baby Daniel Day-Lewis.
I was, and I wish I stayed that way. I wish they casted me as a child because I would have been method as a child.
You would have been.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. It's
No.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think. We would sometimes do like the floor is lava.
Oh, we would
We
too.
would jump around. I remember one time we tipped over the couch and I fell.
You fell?
Yeah, I fell. Fell off the couch.
You okay?
That was fine.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I feel like before when the power would go out, it would go out for a while. Now, like when the power goes out, it comes back really fast nowadays.
I don't think I've experienced the power going out in like
Yeah, that's
since
what I
then.
mean. Like since I was a kid, nowadays it doesn't really happen as much.
No.
But I guess, I mean, why occasionally it'd be like if it was raining a ton, sometimes the power would go out. Like if there's a
Mhm.
storm. But that's about it. Other than that, it's pretty chill.
That's good.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Do you want to order burritos?
Yes, but from where?
I don't know. If you guys know any like really good burrito places in LA, I really haven't found any. I don't
Please
think that the
drop
burritos here
them.
are all that great.
No, they're
so.
really fine. Tacos, fantastic.
Tacos are
other-
great, but burritos are not that good. And like we went to this other Mexican place that Aaron was raving about, and it was fine, but it wasn't
It
great.
was okay. Yeah, it was fine. The food wasn't very fresh. I can imagine maybe it's hard to find that type of food, perhaps.
We live in LA. What do you mean?
But like Oaxacan in general,
Well,
is that not super localized?
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
Oaxacan is just a type of Mexican food.
No, I know it is like specialized in Oaxacan. But yeah, the food, like, I don't know. That's contentious because people love Gala Getza, but it was fine. Like the chips were not like the
No,
tortillas.
it was very mid. It
and
was
the
very
and
mid.
the, and they
you
make
know,
their own tortillas and they kind of pride themselves on that. The tortillas were fine.
the way that I determine whether
Very
or not
dense.
a place is good, and a lot of places in LA don't get this right, is the freshness of the guacamole. Like, if the guacamole is just watery, first of all, I know that's a cheaper way to make guacamole because you're using less avocados.
Right.
But it just doesn't taste as good. And I just really miss the burritos that I'd get in San Francisco.
But I was reading that people really respect the Bay Area for their burritos, and SoCal for like
their tacos.
for tacos, which is interesting. But I have yet to be like truly stunned by burrito, and even the burritos here, it's like they put them on the grill.
Yeah, they're made
which is
similar
even
to
more
tacos.
of like a taco thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to San Francisco, it's very much just about like the burrito and having like a really fresh like tortilla that's like warmed up and heated and fresh. Because for instance, like the reason why I think bagels in LA suck are they're so expensive bagels, like it's fucking bread.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cheapest thing to make in the world. And then, they always like either toast it or it just doesn't taste fresh. It's because a lot of the times they're just in trucks and they've probably been just sitting there for a long time. And it's like, if it's fresh, you shouldn't need to toast it because it has like a fresh baked, just like oomph to it.
I've always needed to toast a bagel.
Then you probably just haven't had like a fresh enough bagel.
But we went to places in New York.
We should probably we got hit up some other spots. Some other spots.
I remember though we went to New York and I had like given up sweets at that point, and you went to go get me a bagel because it couldn't have pancakes. But
that place
really,
sucked.
That was awful.
That place sucked.
Yeah.
That I've looked up that place since. I'm forgetting what it's called. It's very popular. They do like
the rainbow bagel.
The rainbow bagel, but they're also popular
and I
for
wanted
their
to
lox.
try
It
the
was fun.
rainbow bagel.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, I watched videos of the rainbow bagel, and I was like, this is why they have New York, so that you can go and get a rainbow bagel. That's the dream. That's every kid's dream.
Yes. Got it. Understood. You go get the rainbow bagel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with rainbow frosting.
Do they have that?
Rainbow cream cheese frosting, yeah.
They have rainbow cream cheese?
Yes, they do. And it's
know that.
wonderful, I assume. But I've never actually tried it. I never have had
Did
the
I
luxury.
get us the rainbow bagel?
No. You got us the blueberry bagel.
Oh.
Fuck, now I want a bagel. Should we make bagels?
We could.
Let's just get spicy today and just have a nice little
Let's just have fun. What the heck are we doing?
I don't know.
Just have a good time.
I'm feeling a little insecure today, I guess.
Why?
I guess because I just feel like we always talk about the same thing on the podcast, and like I look on Instagram and I scroll through videos and I see other people with their podcast clips, and I just watch it over and over and over, and then my brain starts turning to mush because I see these tiny clips of me watching these people doing a podcast, interviewing other people, and I'm like, why don't I have the balls to go get a guest? Like, why am I not committing hard enough to this? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
But we're honing in on getting the best that we can be at doing this right here in this moment.
Are we, though? I'm also a little bit worried about you, Aaron.
Why?
Because I feel like you...
Come on.
Okay, I'm just going to give this little brief story, and then, Aaron, you can comment on it, because I don't want to, like, expose your life, but I want you to expose your own life. So here it goes. We decided to go downstairs into our swimming pool. And first of all, okay, actually, let me say the first thing, okay? We were walking down the street, and this group of guys stopped us, and they were like, hey, like, we have, we're doing Mr. Beast the Musical. Remember?
Which I have no idea if they were actually affiliated with that. Yeah. No. Then they just started filming us.
They were like, can we film you? And we were like, yeah, sure, of course. And they started asking us questions like, have we ever done theater before? Would we be interested in auditioning for Mr. Beast the Musical? And Aaron was like, no, I've never done theater before.
No, I've never been in a musical before, which is a fact.
Aaron.
I've never been in a musical before.
But we literally studied theater. Like, we studied theater in college. And Aaron's, like, denying this whole experience of his. And then they ask him, like, if he... I don't even know. They asked him what he does now. And he's like, oh, I'm in advertising.
Which is not true.
Aaron is not in advertising. He is not
I
at
get
all.
nervous
His day
talking to
job
people on the street.
is not even... No, but then that didn't even happen. So I was like, whatever. He was just nervous. He freaked out. He lies when he's nervous. It's fine. I blurt out the truth when I'm nervous. We keep walking. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to forget about that instance. Then, you guys, remember that Aaron was really sad last podcast because he wanted to go swimming? I decide, let's go downstairs into the little pool and we can have like a fun little moment with Aaron and go swimming. And there's this adorable woman swimming in the pool and she starts asking us like, hi, what's your name? Like, how long have you guys lived here? Do you like living here? She goes and swims down there every single day. She's a neighbor. And I feel like a neighbor is a little bit closer of a relationship than like guys walking on the street asking to film you.
Mr.
And
Beast.
she's like, what do you guys do? And I start off by saying, oh, you know, I'm an actor. I'm trying to make it out here, blah, blah, blah. And then Aaron says again that he's in advertising. And I'm like, why do you keep saying that to people?
I don't know.
But if you don't vocalize what you really want to do, it's not going to happen. Do you understand that?
You're right.
It makes me really sad, Aaron, honestly, because I see you and I see so much talent. Like a ridiculous amount of talent, but I don't see the want sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on that.
No, don't apologize to me. Apologize to yourself.
Get a mirror. Seriously, get the mirror over there. I want to apologize to myself. I'm not doing a bit. I actually want to talk to myself right now.
Okay.
Do you know where the mirror is?
I'm gonna find it.
Okay. It's gonna be a thing, and I'm gonna.
Have a long conversation. I don't know where the mirror is.
Is it in there? Just take. I need to talk to myself right now.
Do you want a spoon?
You can get a spoon. I mean, I was hoping for like a big mirror. Where do we put it?
I don't know.
Okay, just give me a spoon.
No.
Just give me a spoon.
Where did we put the mirror?
I don't know. It's weird. It's okay.
I feel like you hide things.
I literally, you've been the one hiding shit in your organization fiasco. Sophia has actually done a very good job at deep cleaning this place, and we'll perhaps give a little update soon. But for now, I just need a little word with myself about what I want with my future and with our own goals. Thank you for the spoon.
I'm gonna have a little snack.
How nice are the new spoons, though? They're nice and heavy.
I know, they're nice and thick and wide. Can I kiss you?
Not like me. That was nice.
I love you.
Thanks. Love you too.
I'm gonna eat my snack while you talk to yourself.
Hey. Maybe I can do this so that they can kind of see. Hey, little guy. So, it's been a while since you've really been doing what you've been wanting to do with your life.
Which is?
Write an act.
Be specific.
I just told you. Write plays and do my writing. And, you know, you've kind of existed in more of a corporate environment lately. And I'm not going to talk shit on that because the people there are very nice. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. However, let's be honest. This is not what I was put on this earth to do. I wasn't made for the corporate life. We all know that about you, you little guy. And I do sincerely hope that one day I can get back to doing the things that I want to do. And I can't even look myself in the eye right now.
Do it. It's okay if you cry.
This isn't you. This isn't what you are. And 2 years ago, you would be not the happiest with yourself. And maybe you just need to get back into the things that make you who you are. As my mom said, you know? This is like, we're here for a short time. And you don't know when it could end. So how do you want to spend that time? Doing the things that maybe make you money in the short term? Or doing the things that are going to make you happy for your lifetime. Because you can plan ahead or depend on certain things in the future. But what's that good for? Those things in the future are out of your control. But what can you do right now? Get back out there.
Okay, stop. We're not doing that on this podcast.
Sorry.
It's not a funny bit. Anyway. Are you worried about money?
If I didn't have this job, it would be tough.
Okay.
But that's the only thing.
No, I get it. I just feel like you really are dedicating your whole self to this job.
Lately, I have been.
Not lately, since you've gotten it. Genuinely.
You think?
Yeah.
Ugh. That sucks, bro.
And I see that even with myself, with my job, and I work a part-time job. But I'm like, oh no, what if I miss this shift to like just meet this one person and like a small interaction? Like, it's not worth it.
Bro, capitalism fucking sucks. This is why capitalism is a shit show. Is because you're confined to these like tiny little bullshit things, and even if you want to try to do other things, like we're just trying to live. We're trying to live.
But
and
the
be
truth
fun.
is, Aaron, is that if we invest our time, and I tell this to people who I love, who are close to me, but I don't know if we're actually living this ourselves. Aaron, I already told you I loved you and gave you a kiss. Don't push it. But I don't know. Like, I was talking to my friend, right? And she just quit her job and she was working for a huge agency. And she said that people look at her like she's batshit crazy when she tells them that she just quit a job from this top agency where while we're in the middle of a strike and no one is hiring and everyone's out of work. Like, this is probably just the worst time to quit a job, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But it was the best decision for her.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, when she told me that she quit her job, I was so happy for her because I was like, you're choosing to invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she doesn't have a job right now. She's unemployed. Like, she doesn't really know what the next step is going to be in her life, but she's just trying to reach out to everyone she can, take in every opportunity, learn everything, and really go after what she wants to do. And I just think that that's so admirable because I see how scared she is, and I see how everyone has advised her against doing what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, no matter how terrified or like no matter how many doubts she has in her head, she still did it. She still like took an action and invested in herself by doing that.
Right.
And to me, like, yeah, maybe that's not like the safest choice. But if she prevails and if something comes from this other career that she's chasing, these other goals, in the long term, she will be happier and honestly, probably wealthier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. And I guess I just get so touchy about these things also because, you know, I was talking to my dad the other day.
Right.
And he was saying, I was explaining to him about the strike. And are you okay?
Yeah, continue. I'm listening. I'm fully listening.
You're tired.
No. What was he saying?
He was, I don't know.
What was he saying? You were talking about the strike.
He was just saying like, well, you know, this might be a time to pivot your career or do something else. Because everyone's on strike right now. And he's like, you and Aaron are smart enough that when the time comes, you'll know to stop going after this. And he didn't say it in that harsh of a way. But it was kind of like, you're smart enough that when the time comes, you could take more from these side jobs. Basically, and give up this side chase. And in my head, I was thinking like, I don't know, that just made me so... It made me realize I I really don't have anything else that I could do. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I am not good with social media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have another career that I'm interested in, and I really don't have any other skill sets. Like, these
Right.
are my skill sets.
Right.
And I don't feel like applying myself for several years to a job that if I applied myself to this career that I want now, I would probably still get that.
Yeah.
Any career is going to be hard to obtain.
Yes.
And I understand, like, yes, I'm picking up a bunch of shifts for stability. I don't think a lot of people could be in your position where they could be working for a tech company.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think a lot of people have that skill set that are actors.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely. I think that you're lucky that you're so smart and that you found that thing. But I don't know. Sometimes I worry about you because I'm like,
Yeah.
I know it's a small thing that you tell people that you're in advertising, but you are literally telling yourself that you're not an actor when you say that, or that you're not a writer, or that you're not a creative.
Yeah.
Like, you are admitting that to other people. And I feel like you're almost embarrassed by saying that you are one.
Yeah, I think I think it's been taking up, because I'm into myself. I've been in denial about it for some time, but I think that it, like, when the way that I like talk about it, because that's all people ask me about. That is what I've been defaulting to. Like, with my family, that's all we talk about. With your family, you know what I mean? Like, that's all we talk about. Like, we talk about it a lot. So I feel like it defaults to that.
No, and I get that because...
And I almost... Yeah, I get it. Like, I'm not thrilled about it.
Well, I understand that because I think when I go home, the issue with me going home now is I feel like I have nothing to share and nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I am working front desk at a Pilates studio. There is nothing happening on my day-to-day that's like exciting. I'm not working on a project. I'm not,
Right.
it's not something to talk about or something to share. You have something to talk about and to share, so that's obviously what's by default coming up every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. No, it makes sense. I'm not like upset when people ask me about it. It's just like it is kind of like
But it's
a little bit.
But it's less than even people asking you about it. It's like, Aaron, what's wrong?
Help me.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not. Keep going.
You're nervous.
No, keep going. This is great.
I just feel like sometimes it's not even when people are asking you, like, you obviously don't do advertising. Like, I sometimes feel like you are just defaulting. And I understand because there's a level of, like, we're very secretive about what we do creatively, just in general. Baby, what are you doing?
Want your hand?
We're very secretive about what we do creatively, which I think is a good thing because I don't like to share anything that I'm doing really until it's completed. Mm-hmm. But like most of our friends have no idea that we have this podcast. Yeah. None of our friends. No.
Yeah.
And what?
That's just really funny.
It is really funny. None of our friends.
We've had a podcast
this.
for almost 20 weeks.
And no one knows.
It's funny. It's kind of funny though.
It is.
Like, I thought it would be funny.
It's part of the bit. But let me also say, funny. I do think literally that we are like knows. Our true messy selves on this podcast. Literally no one I don't knows. Think I want like people that I know to see it.
That's what I mean is like, I don't feel like it could be, anyway, it is what it is.
You don't think you could be as open if you were like.
Yeah, if like I knew.
But isn't that the goal? To have people watch it?
No, of course. Of course. That is like ideal that people watch this.
I think Aaron and I are at a weird place with this podcast because sometimes we've talked like, oh, do we try to like, get someone else to produce this that isn't us because it would take a lot of pressure off of us and a lot of work off of us and we'd just be able to focus on the material or like, oh, do we even continue with this? Like, I think we've just had a lot of questions of like, where we want to go with this and what platforms do we advertise this on? Clearly we haven't been advertising enough. I think it's because we're kind of scared a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
And I do think that every single project that we've ever done, and I'm going to be frank with you, any play that you have done, any film that you have done, stop. I'm being serious. You're joking because you're uncomfortable. Stop. Why are you laughing at me?
Keep going.
Anything that you have done, you've not told anyone about, to the point where, like, I remember Aaron and I did this play senior year. He directed this play. He had been talking about it since our freshman year. When we were friends, we were not dating at the time. I asked him for a suggestion for a monologue because I knew, even though Aaron and I were not that close at this time, this guy's a smart guy. He can help me out. He gives me this beautiful monologue from this play called Shadowbox. You should all read it if you are interested in who Aaron is as a person, because it just
What
really
the fuck?
No, it really demonstrates your taste in art and what you like, because it showcases familial relationships, loss. Those are things that Aaron, I think, connects to.
Keep going. And what's your point?
He gave me this monologue and he worked with me on it. And it was really one of the first times that I felt like I was really able to be emotional when acting. And I hadn't felt that really before. So that was freshman year. We continued to senior year and we do this play together. And I was in a really bad headspace during the play. Like, I don't know why. I think I was really nervous that we were moving in together. And this particular character happened to be very promiscuous and had kind of like lost the love of her life because she chose to walk away and get a divorce because she wasn't happy being married. And I think like that whole idea of me moving in with Aaron like really terrified me. So I felt that I was this too much like this character. I was like, oh my God, these are all the worst things about me. And I'm really nothing like the character at all. It's just like a character that I would play. And anyway, I was really going through it during that time. And we fought a lot during this time, me and Aaron. But I remember performing it and like seeing how much it had affected the other actors on stage and how proud of it that they were. And I was really proud of Aaron because he had talked about this play forever. And it was so beautiful. He built the whole set by himself. He cut down literally a tree from the forest to put at the center.
Let's just say like the tree wasn't in good shape to begin with, and I wasn't actually cutting down
But we
trees.
made
But I did find a tree in
ourselves.
the forest.
We made platforms ourselves using a handsaw. And we are not builders.
That was very hard.
But it was something that you were really passionate about and really loved. And like, it was just so exciting to see you do it. And in the end, and I noticed this about myself too, not a lot of people came to the play at all. And I think it's because we did not advertise it at all. We didn't talk about it. And it was almost to a fault. And then I also felt...
There were a couple reasons. It wasn't because I wasn't proud of the product, though.
No, I understand that. I think what I realized from that...
Also, I wasn't the producer, even.
Yeah. But what I think what I realized from that, though, is that no matter how proud you are of a project, you will not say it. Or you will not advertise it. You will not put it out there. No matter how proud you are. And I realized that about myself, too, because I was, like, beating myself up more than I ever have during that entire process.
Yeah.
Being like, I suck. I'm not good enough. I wouldn't go out and say hi to people after the show. I wouldn't even thank people for coming because I was so upset with myself. And I look back and I was like, what was the point of that? Like, what was the point of beating myself up and like us not like advertising it? And like, I don't know. There's a certain point when you can say the work can speak for itself.
Yeah.
But then there's also like, are you just not making reels for this podcast? Are we just not, pushing for the 2 films that we made 2 years ago to get made because we're scared?
I think that there's an element to that. With this, like the podcast in particular, with the play, I didn't feel that way. I was just more focused on just making it as the best I can, and in that, like, I just didn't have time to advertise it, and that just wasn't part of the plan for me, and that was a mistake. In terms of like the podcast, like, I don't know, like, I think we've gotten better at just talking to it with a camera being there in general.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're less presentational in certain ways. I feel like a little bit more free in that.
Yeah.
Like, we're 19 episodes better at this than when we started.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. That being said, like, there are obvious next steps, and I think, like, we have plans for that.
No, we do.
I know what you're saying, and I know it connects back to, like, the job thing that I've been obviously struggling with internally, mentally, socially.
We don't talk about it. You don't talk about how you're struggling with it.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what to say, you guys.
I just see, like, I have to fucking snoop on your phone to figure this out. Which maybe I shouldn't have done.
You do it in the most obvious way, and you've been doing it since we started dating. She takes my phone, starts laughing, and then she runs into the bathroom and locks the door. She goes to my phone all the time. By the way, there are some people who are like, oh my God, that is like my private thing. Do not touch my phone. I don't know why I'm doing a Chinese accent. I don't know why that came out.
No comment.
Oh, don't touch my phone. You got really nervous when I did that. You looked immediately. Usually when you're embarrassed by the things that I do, you do this. Immediately. Fear and shock. Anyway, some people get very nervous by that. I don't. First of all, like, nothing to hide. I don't really care. People get nervous about touching phones.
Well, okay, let me be honest with you. I want to say I want to
kidnapped my phone. You kidnap my phone all the time. I don't really care.
I want to be honest here. Okay, I
defend yourself.
have never gone through anyone's phone. Anyone's. Not my family members, no boyfriends that I've dated, no friends. I've never been interested in that ever until Aaron. Because honestly, I think the reason why is if I was going through someone else's phone, they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get off of my phone. That's freakish. I didn't even know the password to my ex's phone. Like, I would never, he would never tell me the password.
That is like an interesting thing that you could have like a really intimate relationship with someone, but when it comes to like your thing, it's like hands off my fucking thing.
But I think with you, it's like, honestly, it feels like our phones are kind of like a shared thing. Like, I've always felt like
I don't care.
If Aaron sees me going through his phone, he'd be like, "What?" Like, he'd be like, "What are you doing?" But then it wouldn't be weird because we kind of just, he wouldn't be mad at me. Like, I know that he wouldn't be mad at me, so that's why I go through his phone. Like,
I know
and sometimes I have to look through it because you don't respond to people.
You, at the very most, are just looking to stir the pot a little. Yeah. Which is what happened earlier today. But
well, honestly, I just like needed to look at something while I was pooing, and I had already gone through my phone like 100 times.
Yeah. So, but it isn't like an interesting physiological response where people in relationships or like long-term relationships are like, nuh-uh, do not look through my phone.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it is weird. And I guess that they're like
but I know, like, for example, like my mom and dad, they have the same camera roll. They have like the same email.
But it's like, it's an uncommon take to say, to be, isn't it? I feel like it's uncommon to be like, oh, I feel like that's a font. Like, it's
It depends
fine.
on your generation, I think. Like,
but
I think in our generation, no
crazy.
one, it's insane.
But I'm actually don't know. Like, and I know it's like, oh, you should trust me. But like, for me, it's literally not a thing of, I have anything to hide. It's like, I don't care.
I think we just like go on each other's phones sometimes.
I literally
like,
do not give a shit.
sometimes we use each other's phones. We share a computer basically because mine is broken.
Yeah, we share everything.
So I think at that point it's like.
But why do people get uncomfortable by it? Is what I don't understand.
I'm sure they have stuff on the phone that they don't want the other person to see.
But isn't that like that's the only reason? And look, it doesn't necessarily implicate like cheating.
No.
But maybe it's like what you look up weird things on Google. Like I actually don't know.
I don't either. I want to ask, actually. This
If
is a response. If you've watched this far.
If you've come this far and you are a reasonable I'm not saying you're unreasonable. I'm not saying you're a demonstrous, nefarious human being. But if you are uncomfortable with people going through your phone, a significant
maybe
other.
it's like, I used to download those apps.
Which ones?
Where, like, you would, like,
sexy ones?
play pretend and, like,
What?
you would, like, be in high school, or you would, like,
Oh.
those, like, life apps.
That's
And
not
I was
that
kind
bad.
of embarrassed that I downloaded those, so maybe I wouldn't want anyone to see that. But, like, now I just told the whole internet.
The
that I did
fondue
that.
maker.
Oh, I love the fondue maker. But, like, maybe someone downloads something like that and they're, like, embarrassed by it.
I feel like that's
Because
not
I remember
case.
someone going through my phone and they were like, "Oh, you have that life."
Donna's whisker.
They were like, "Oh, you have that life app? That's so funny." And I was like,
weird.
"Yeah, I have it. This is embarrassing."
I used to play with that one all the time. I would try to get the two football boys to kiss.
Me too.
But if you are uncomfortable with that, please write why. And try to make it a little bit detailed beyond like a trust thing. Because that's a little vague. Like, what is the reason?
Yeah, be specific. Like, if you're texting like a specific person that you don't want your significant other to know about, like, give us the detailed relationship with that person and exactly what you've said that you don't want your significant other to see.
Oh, okay, that's very specific. I don't think that is necessarily the only implication.
I want to know.
But
I want to know.
I don't think it's necessarily just that, but it's like either it doesn't need to be a specific example, but like what is like the psychological reason? What does it stand for in like your relationship? Why are you
like, this is mine? People are just protective over their phones in general. I'm very attached to my phone now.
Yeah, but beyond like the obvious reasons why, like what is the root?
You give us your root and
Give me your root.
we want to know. We want
want
to
your
discuss it. Please comment. Please interact.
Yeah, give some interaction, you
Yeah.
guys. We're here to be interacted with.
But now that you've talked about that, we have to get back to you.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up with that. Don't worry.
Okay.
You were talking about your job.
I think I just need to figure out if I can continue to pursue this and still wake up in the morning and be happy with my life and my choices.
I think you do wake up in the morning and you're happy with your life.
But there are days where I'm like, oh, shit.
See, I feel like sometimes,
A
Aaron,
motherfucker.
I don't know that.
Because I don't tell you.
Yeah, but you know immediately.
Yeah, because I feel bad that I am working a 9 to 5. I feel like that was not what you signed up for, you know?
Well, okay, you could look at it in two ways though. No, I did not sign up. I did not sign up for you to work a 9 to 5. I thought our life would be very different at this point.
Exactly.
I
So I feel bad about that.
And so there is a bit of, I think, anger that I express, and I'm very apparent about it. And I think that that's also not fair to you because it is also like a survival thing. Like, I do feel genuinely.
Healthcare.
I know, baby. I know. I'm sorry. You okay?
Yeah.
I'm being selfish.
No, you're not. Continue.
But I do feel a lot more secure that you have
Yeah, me too.
a job. Like, even though we're not married and we pay 50-50, but I feel like, oh my God, if anything happened,
Yeah.
or if we need an extra expense, like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay. So I do have this animosity toward it, but I also have this gratitude. And also, which isn't always fair to you, I have this like crutch to lean on when I go home, when I'm like, oh yeah, Aaron's doing great with his career, with his job, with his thing. And it just makes my family kind of
sigh of relief.
Yeah. And I notice that.
Yeah.
And I notice like that unfortunately makes me look more successful, even though I am not the one with the job.
Well, and I don't know. For me, yeah, I don't know.
Which also kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, bud.
You also just look so tired.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad about like you being home and me having to work because A, it's like not towards what we want, and then B, it's just like ugh. It's like another reminder that I'm not there yet.
Would you feel more comfortable if I wasn't in the house?
No, that's not what
Because
I'm
I tried to get
saying.
out of the house. I just
No, you
wasn't
do
able to
great.
leave today.
Claire, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want you disappearing
I know.
like Dorothy. We all know that would happen to you. If there's anyone that would Wizard of Oz, it's you. And I'm the wizard.
And I'm the Oz.
What?
Huh?
Anyway, guys. So, as we enter into the last quarter of the year. Quarter, that's a business term. As we enter the last few months of the year.
Aaron, it is okay if you want to do this with your life. I do not care. I just want you to be honest with me.
Honestly, the only reason I'm continuing down this path is because it's like out in front of me. And it's not that like I'm really like attempting to invest all my time in this. It's just like literally what I need to do to, I don't even know what I'm saying. But it's not like, oh my God, like, yes.
But no, let me ask you this, okay? Because I think this is like the big question, right? Mm-hmm. That any person who's entering this creative space, probably especially at this time, is asking themselves, because I'm having like a panic attack about it every day, and I want to know if you are too. Do you think if you dedicated yourself to writing for 2 years, you would be able to create a project or produce a play or make a pilot that would bring in the revenue that you're making now?
I don't know. I mean, I think I could write something that would be worth that. But again, it's like it's hard. It's hard because and given like the conditions that are existing right now, specifically for writers.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, I'm making more than writers get paid.
Yeah.
Which is just shitty. Hopefully that changes and I can but honestly, and I'm being like really honest, I wouldn't even care that much if I wasn't getting paid a lot. Because I'd be doing.
But you'd be happy.
But because I'd be happy doing what I'm doing.
Because I think this for myself a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I am in a weird place. And sometimes the reason I get frustrated is because I'm like, honey.
I'm just sniffing.
Those don't smell.
Oh.
Do they?
No.
I think to myself, like, I get frustrated sometimes because I think, am I putting work toward this every single day? I don't know if I am. I try to, but some days it's like I am just going to my day job and then I'm coming home and I'm dead and I sleep. Or I don't do something worthwhile every day. And then I'm like, oh, would it be more beneficial if I was working like a job that's actually making me money so that I could just, do my auditions when they come in and then work toward it that way. Right. I don't know. But then I also think to myself, if I audition, and right now I'm not getting on any auditions, so that also sucks. If I'm auditioning for 2 years, will something come that's going to bring me, that's going to make it worthwhile? You know what I mean? Like, you have to believe that there. Oh no, buddy.
What happened? Pause. Oh, we're back. Sorry, the battery died. Switched.
We're sorry, you guys. The battery died.
Anyway, back. We'll wrap this up.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying that, is there going to be something at the end of, is it worth the sacrifice of not making that much money in your first few years out? Do you believe that you're going to make more money and back? And I know that, like, in my mind, it shouldn't be about the money, but it is, because it's like, can we survive?
Because it has to be, because, survival.
Yeah.
And even, like, beyond.
But do you think that you could make money from writing?
Yeah,
if you spent 2 years struggling?
Yeah, I
Do you
do.
think you can make that back?
I think I would, and like for you and for what you want to do, I think that there is like a clear pathway to the grind.
But I don't think there is, because I can't work on it every day the way that you can.
That's true. That's fucking true.
Yes, there might be a clear pathway to the grind in that once you get cast in something, if it's in a
Maybe,
traditional
yeah,
way.
I think and I think like going into this next year where look, we've moved, we've done that thing. I think I like really need to sit down and think of and like recalibrate my freaking life because it's gone off the rails. Let me just tell you, buddy boy.
It hasn't gone off the rails.
Off the rails. I am 3 steps away from doing crack.
I know you're lying, but I feel like that's kind of like true.
Could be. Who's to say?
Aaron, I didn't even know you were feeling this way.
Yeah.
I thought that you were just happy with your day job.
No.
And that you were just wanting more from it.
No. I don't want to be a little Debbie Downer sometimes.
I think it's not being a Debbie Downer if you're honest with me. Stop.
Well, because I feel like...
Put your thing back.
I feel like me doing this in the first place was a mess. Not a mess, but
it wasn't a mess. It provided us security when we needed it.
I knew, but at the same time, I feel like me complaining about it is like, oh, your work, I'm complaining. And then on top of it, I'm complaining about something that's like wasn't even the goal to begin with. And it's kind of a hindrance.
But you don't have to complain. You could just be like, I'm feeling down today because I feel like my life isn't going the way that I wanted it to. And there's nothing wrong in that. Yeah. And the fact that you feel that you can't say anything like that to me, like that's on me. Honestly.
It's not on you.
It is, because I feel I make you feel that way.
No, you don't.
Who else would you tell that to?
Myself.
Who do you talk to about this?
Me.
Just you?
In the mirror. In the spoon.
Aaron.
Bring back the spoon.
Aaron.
What?
I didn't even know you were feeling this way.
It's gonna be okay.
I know you're gonna be okay. But if you just keep it bottled in, you're gonna explode. That's what happens to you.
I know. Something bad happens.
Aaron's always trying to make this a comedy podcast. I don't know if it is. I don't know. I just hope that you're okay.
Me too. And I think we're working on it. Maybe the death is the death of pressure and expectation.
I don't think my pressure and expectation has died yet, but if it has for you, I think it died a while ago.
Maybe we should try to kill it.
I guess.
Maybe we should kill it.
What's the expectation that you feel for yourself?
Or not expectation, like toxic, like, you know, you need to be doing this by this is okay, yeah. You know?
I think I'm going to hold on to that for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm not ready to let go.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not going to lie.
Well, you have to name the death of something that has been like toxically binding you to something unhealthy for you. What should we mourn? Oh, she just likes everything.
What do you want to mourn? This is more about you than me.
I already told you.
Death and expectation and whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm sorry.
Why don't you ever tell me these feelings?
Because I don't listen.
No, you do.
It's okay if I don't.
You're just making a silly joke.
You're not making a joke. Yeah. Everything that you say jokingly, you mean way deeper than anything that you say seriously.
That is not true.
Yes, it is. I'm going to mark the death of shitting on myself every day.
I like that.
Because I think it will make me a stronger person. And in the end, I have my stupid side job because I know I'm going to make it in 2 years.
And maybe like us shitting on ourselves or like being quiet about things, it's because we're scared.
I do think it's because we're scared.
Maybe we just need to be more positive and say, hey, we can. Yes, we can. Like Obama.
Yep.
with that, you guys.
I guess this is it.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to let go yet.
The podcast? The episode? Well, a lot's happened, so I feel pretty good about this one.
A lot's happened in my life. Leela left for college yesterday, you guys.
Been a tough time.
I just wanted to say that. I'm really proud of her. And I'm really proud of Andreas too. So
True.
shout out homie Jays if you're out there.
Shout out, shout out, shout out.
But yeah, this is not where I expected the podcast to go today, but it never is. And
You therapized me today.
thank God it was about time. I hope that you guys tune in for next week. And we have some exciting surprises coming for you. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Stay safe.
Stay safe out there. FIFA full fun, bitches.
God.